This is Brno. It's the second largest city in Czechia and is home to around 400,000 people. Like many European cities of its size, Brno has quite an extensive tram system comprising of 12 lines, spanning in a radial-like manner around the old historic center of the city and Brno main train station. Most of the rolling stock used to operate the Brno tram network are old Tatra T3, T6A5s, as well as newer TWT Vario LF2 and Evo 2 trams. When compared to other tram systems in the Czech Republic, such as Prague with their trams that run and weave in and out of traffic, Brno actually has a significantly better tram network. This is because of Dopravní podnik města Brna's heavy investment into making most of DPMP's tram routes run on their own independent right-of-ways, separate from car traffic and at times even grade separated. Along with this, DPMP has gradually been expanding the Brno tram system since the fall of communism, mostly with the construction of spur lines off pre-existing tram routes and the modification of existing tram lines and stops. And while all of this is good, Brno still suffers from poor transit connectivity on the outskirts of the city, particularly at new developments. Now, this is actually quite an issue across larger Czech cities, with suburban and higher density housing estates such as Kamechy in Prague facing these same connectivity issues. The general solution to this poor connectivity, at least in Brno, is for IDS JMK, the company responsible for buses in and around Brno, to provide bus services linking new housing developments to existing tram lines. Now, here's the problem with having buses as your primary mode of public transportation. People use public transit based on three factors: the reliability of transport service, how close transit stops are to their destinations, and, most importantly, how public transport feels. Psychologically speaking, someone will be far more willing to commute to their job in the city center of Brno by a smooth tram ride as opposed to a crowded, shaky, and loud bus. This is because of how public transportation feels. On top of this, tram and other light rail infrastructure creates a sense of permanence in a community, giving people peace of mind that they can rely on frequent public transport services from dedicated, quiet stations to get where they need to go. Compare this to a dinky bus stop, sometimes without a shelter, on the side of a loud road. When done right in the long term, tram infrastructure can even act as a driver of growth in new communities, because people will see having a tram line as an advantage to get into the city fast and easy. Thus, more people will move into areas around public transportation infrastructure. As neighborhoods grow over time in both size and density, having dedicated public transportation infrastructure such as trams also allows for more frequent service without delays, even as more people use public transport. Adding excess capacity in growing neighborhoods can be done with buses as well, but this just results in more loud, uncomfortable buses clogging streets, leading to delays and overall less transit ridership. This is why neighborhoods that only have bus service see much higher car usage as opposed to those with tram or rail services. Say Brno wants to extend one of its tram lines to a neighborhood only accessible by bus or car. How does the city avoid high costs when extending a tram route to a growing neighborhood? The solution? To build transit infrastructure first before neighborhood development begins. Cities in China do this all the time with their metros, and this is also exactly what DPMB has done with some of its tram extensions in Brno as well. Take the Masaryk University extension on DPMP Line 8. The 900-meter-long spur line includes one stop, Západní Brna, and a new terminus station at Nemocnice Bohunice. What makes this extension interesting is the fact that the Západní Brna tram stop is in the middle of a 650-meter-long underground tunnel. But this tunnel is in the middle of nowhere. Why, you might ask? Well, the idea is that the Západní Brna tram stop will encourage housing and commercial development around the underground station, which currently sits on an empty plot of land. This is a genius play on DPMP's part because they're ensuring good ridership at the station in the future. How much did this 900-meter-long Masaryk University spur line cost? A whopping $150 million. Now, to be fair, most of that cost does come from building the 650-meter-long tunnel, but still, it's clear that Brno is putting a lot of investment into its tram network. But this is not the only very expensive transit project that DPMP is currently working on. This is the Kamechy housing estate. In recent years, its population has exploded from around 500 residents to over 4,500 residents, with the vast majority of people in the community commuting into the city. Kamechy lies around a kilometer from the terminus of the number 1 tram line at Echerova, or around 12 minutes by bus away from the Zoologická zahrada tram stop. Kamechy will soon see tram service with a 1.4 kilometer long extension of the number 1 line to the housing estate. When completed in 2027, the Kamechy extension will include a 320-meter long tunnel and a brand new tram turnaround loop at the housing estate. The tram line number 3 will also be extended from its current terminus at Rakovecka to Kamechy once the project is completed in 2027. Just like the Masaryk University Transit project, the Kamechy extension will also cost around $150 million, mostly because of the machinery needed to make the 320-meter long tunnel as part of the project. However, the European Union and other organizations are helping Brno to foot the expensive cost of the tram extension. It's transit projects like these that are changing Brno for the better. So yeah, that was the $150 million tramline extension. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and have a great rest of your day.